All those of you who arrived so early, thank you for your patience. And we decided to start just a couple of minutes early. So thank you for those who came just at 2 o'clock. And yeah, thank you for waiting. I've been waiting 4 years, nearly more than 4 years, for this to happen. As founder of the Oxford Zimbabwe Arts Partnership, a small group of us, including Norbert Chamriaria here, and Lorraine Moria here from Zimbabwe, and some other people in Oxford, started this initiative back in 2020. And because it was a big issue in Oxford, the history of Cecil Rhodes and the colonial history. There are a lot of people in Oxford, in the UK, where I'm from, and Professor William Beinart is from, feel very strongly that those things were wrong, that what happened then, and that we need to acknowledge that, and that art is a constructive way of acknowledging it. So many people, many of you will have heard of the Rhodes Must Fall movement in South Africa, taking down the statues of Cecil Rhodes. And people were saying we should do the same in Oxford. But what we all agreed in Oxford Zimbabwe Arts Partnership was, no, we don't want to hide that history or pretend it didn't happen. We want a constructive artistic response to celebrate, as you so eloquently put, the resilience and the survival of the indigenous people of this country. So that's what this is about. It's taken 4.5 years to get to this point, and we had a very big ambition back then, which is still an ambition, but we had no funding. We're a very small organization of a few people. So we wanted to get some funding and a budget from Oxford University. You all have heard of Oxford University. It's one of the top universities in the world. Finally, they have agreed to support this project. So we're very grateful to Oxford University for supporting the project. We've also been working with the church in the university. The vicar in the church was the first one to say yes, he would be happy to have an exhibition with the sculpture in his church. So that is part of the plan. So if I could talk you through what the plan is, I think hopefully you will all have seen the brief that we've already issued, but I'll just pick up the key points. And please, if anybody is not quite understanding my English, or if I'm speaking too loud, too fast, I mean, please just put your hand up. Lorraine here or someone else can interpret if necessary. This is the official launch of the competition, and it was something that Norbert and I discussed actually. Originally we were going to ask Norbert to produce a sculpture, but then we thought, no, it's much better to promote a bigger event with the competition and maybe some younger sculptors as well. So that's why we ended up with this competition that we're kicking off today. I'll repeat the brief in a minute, but you've already heard the key points from Tendai. But then the beginning of March, we expect all the sculptors who are taking part to have completed their works, and we are funding 50 people just for the materials, $50 each for the materials. So let me talk a little bit about the prize money. I mean, hopefully most of you are aware of this, but just to be clear. So it's up to the Chitungwiza Arts Centre to say these are the 50 artists who will be getting the $50 each to cover your materials. Our understanding is that you will then be able to sell the artworks yourselves. So that's just a gesture to cover your materials. And then there is in early March we will be shortlisting those 50. If we have 50 people taking part, we will be shortlisting those, and that will be Professor William, Norbert, myself, and also Taylor Nkomo. I don't know how many of you know Taylor Nkomo, who's here in the front row as an eminent sculptor himself. So we'll be doing a shortlisting that week to get to 5 finalists. And then we have a panel from the UK and Zimbabwe who will be making the decisions about the final 5. And that is where I need to explain a little bit, I think, about Oxford University and how it works. There are actually about 33 separate colleges, like separate schools, but together they make Oxford University. And we are working with one of those colleges called Oriel College, because that is a college that benefited the most from Cecil Rhodes, and where his statue is looking over the High Street, the most important street in Oxford. His Cecil Rhodes statue is there, and it's even above 2 kings, 2 monarchs, and 2 bishops. So we want this sculpture to be just the beginning of showing an alternative of the history. So that's why we're working with the particular college. And we have a message from the master of the college. Actually, he's called the provost, but it means he's the master of the college. He runs the college, Lord Neil Mendoza. We will play that to you in a few minutes. Let me know if we get it on the screen. Otherwise, I'll show it on my laptop. Yes. So then we have a panel that he will chair. The Lord Mendoza, the master of Oriel College, will chair that panel of judges, and we'll be finalising the judging on Friday, the 7th of March, I think it is, and then on the Saturday we'll have the award ceremony here. And we will sort out so that the judges will be able to see the artworks online. We'll send photographs, and also we expect to have them online, maybe discussing it and so on. We still need to agree all the details of that, but that's the process.